Hello, everyone. Welcome to a post commentary for. This is a speed run. Speed run of Dawn of War: Dark Crusade. Hang on a second. Turn that down. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be submitting this time for consideration because I did make a mistake. You start the timer not when you pick your race, like I initially thought, but when you select the difficulty, and you select the difficulty before you select your race. So this is a faulty start. That's a good way to put it. So I will not be submitting this one. And why am I doing post commentary on this? Because sometimes, because my husband doesn't want to disturb me, but is needing kind of my moral support, I do not record. But we came to kind of a compromise where it really doesn't matter. I can record some things without using the microphone and then just do post commentary. So some things that works out really well for. Even though I'm not a fan of it. This is something like that. Now, let's get into the speedrun part here. It is a glitchless run, so no glitches. 100% of the map needs to be taken. The total length, as you saw when you clicked on the video, is 3 hours and 19 minutes approximately. Not all of that doing this, but yeah. This is this map here you saw me go into. This is the one I always go to first because there is one map that I like to get for a special ability as soon as I can for doing a 100% of this map. And I chose Necrons because they have the ability. It happened in this one. The Lord was killed. So a way that I can, or the way that some people do is, if the Lord is killed, when you rebuild them, because they're robots, that's the easiest way to describe it. That's not the exact thing, but think of them as undead robot things of Warhammer 40k. If you're not familiar with them. If you are familiar with them, Necrons. Now, in the Dawn of War series, when the Necron Lord gets taken out and you rebuild the body, it doesn't start at your base, it starts where it fell. So you have an advantage there of, oh, Necron Lord went down, click, I'll be right at the base where it was taken out. And there's the Lord attacking the main base. That's the structure I need to take out to win this map. Now what I'm doing here is I am attempting to build up a little bit of stuff so that if I get attacked here, I can defend easier. I have since changed that strategy, but the death mask allows me to see visible. I go for the shroud now, the cloak.
For much of the Dark
This
Crusade,
here,
great
this map is the one that I want
the battlefields of
first when it comes to a special ability.
To ground long-range flights.
And the simple reason is it allows me to basically teleport around the map. Not the map, the big map. So I can jump to... You can't jump directly to enemy main bases, but you can jump to any other base piece. Or any other map piece. And that's why I like it. Now what I'm doing... This map, you don't have to take out the enemy base. What you have to do is collect 6 what's called servitors, which is a Terra or Earth human thing.
That human is a crude melding.
Typically, servitors are criminals that have been found guilty, and they basically turn them into
the scarabs are analyzing
cybernetic automatons that have no will of their own anymore. They are lobotomized utterly. That's a nice way of... And if you're wondering, that sounds really cruel and mean, and there are no good guys in Warhammer 40k.
The human hybrid.
But I need to get 6 of the servitors, and I have found a few of them already. I do know where I need to go to get all of them. The 6 that I need.
Bring it to the monolith.
The elite force that of the warriors are just super slow walking. They're now set up to get me 2. And then I'll just focus totally on the Lord, working on trying to get this one, which can be a problem because I have to take it through a base. So they will capture it at least once, or not. That's a little weird. Usually they capture it. So let's catch up to it by teleporting. That's the other thing, is the Necron Lord can teleport as a normal ability. It does have to recharge, but it does work for the most part.
The scarabs are analyzing the human hybrid, but we require...
Of course, if you see this, if you have any questions or tips for the speedrunning, all for that, they got it there. They usually have troops in this area wanting to attack. The run is done on easy difficulty, by the way. And it really isn't necessary, per se. I have to learn how to move the timer. I just need to shift it down. I don't know how to do that, so it's not covering up that top information. Yeah.
But it contains valuable
now,
information.
what is absolutely totally blocked out, Necrons do not get. That's called requisition.
We have all we need.
Necrons are unique that... Oh, there we go. Got all 6. Necrons are unique that they only use power to build things. All other races use requisition and power. Now I'm going to here
Once
next.
a thriving industrial center.
I have since changed this strategy. But here on this map, you have to do is collect 3,000 power? No, 2,600 power before the time runs out. So you have to build generators which cost power, and you have... Doing some testing, there doesn't seem to be an optimum... I hate the fact. Always forget. But anyways, there doesn't seem to be a optimum number per se of generators for a noticeable difference. What's making most of the difference in time and how long it takes is clicks. How quick am I on the draw? Now, I said I changed this strategy. In this one, I make, in my opinion, a huge mistake. And I do not take the land that gives me basically an advanced base. That when I attack a piece of land, I have the option of taking some base pieces. And that is kind of where the mistake is. It should be get the one that allows me to jump around the map, then jump and get that advanced base option, then jump over and get this one. And the reason why this one is critical, in my opinion, is that this one, it gives you a bonus to energy when you start on the map. Well, if Necrons use nothing but energy, you can't go wrong with that, you know? So it becomes huge to speeding things up and being able to go out and wipe out bases, wipe out maps and things like that, and move forward. So that is where I feel I made a critical mistake in this speedrun. Now, it's not the first time I've tried speedrunning this game, but it's the first time I have speedrunning 100% with an actual timer working. Oh, yeah. So that's what I feel is my mistake. I haven't looked into seeing if multiple Scarab units speed up building. At the very least, it does look cool. Sometimes that's enough. You know? Want it to look cool. They just swarm around in the little and just anyways. Yeah. There really isn't much to do on this map. You did see me build warriors to help defend. Now, what is interesting is warriors cost 0 energy to produce. What happens is each subsequent squad that you produce takes longer. This one is not going to come out because it costs 3 population each, and I'm at 6 of 8. So I'm not getting any more. But if I was to increase the squad size once the squad is produced, that is where the expenditure of energy comes from. So I don't. I just put him out, leave him a squad of 3. We're on easy mode. I got way more than enough defense to deal with whatever the it is the Blood Ravens. Yes, Space Marines who have this. I did figure out that if you build all of the power generators, the cost goes up with it. But the first one costs 0, the second one costs 20, the next 40, so on, increasing. The last one is 180. If you build the last one, it seems to take longer to do this map. If you don't, generally speaking, okay. You'll be done with a timer left between 12 minutes and 12 minutes 30 seconds of in-game timer remaining. Or in there seems to be average number per se. The advanced base that you can do, you can bring 4 generators. I've run a few experiments. There isn't much value in building any, but I probably would build like 2 of them, in part just for something to do. Sounds silly, but that's it. Do maybe 3 and stop there. So I would have 7 generators, and that's plenty. And that does not take long. Oh no, that Necron may die! And then just get put back together. Meh. Their bodies are made of something called living metal. Monstrosity from ages past. There are only, debatably, 2 races. 2 major races in the Warhammer 40k universe that have experience in fighting the Necron tier and Necrons of the ancient past, before humans were even single-celled organisms on Earth. That would be the Eldar and Orcs. There. Now, I'm having to defend. This is where we get basically the ability to teleport around the map. Here, I do not have to gather those servitors again. I just have to take out the end. And yeah, I just brought the pointer up just below the timer there, and you can see that the starting power is over 1,000 as opposed to like 300 or 400 or less. And I had already spent 175 plus the 120 building, 120. So yeah, it's a huge difference. Now that building is critical for getting a unit that accelerates in taking maps, and that's why the advanced base option is so important. One of my big failings in doing this is I'm not very good at shortcuts. Shortcuts for the game. Just not really how I played. Yes, upgrade that for no reason. Okay, so we're done building that. Now it's flayed ones. Now what makes them so good is flayed ones, when they are built, they appear inside your base here, the monolith. And what you can do is teleport them to anywhere that you can see, so you've exposed the fog of war. And that accelerates your ability to, well, do damage faster. Like, here we go. There's a squad of flayed ones. What I'm doing is I'm having them run interference with the scouts. They are very powerful. In this game, there is something called morale for units. If the morale is broken, the unit does less damage. Straightforward. Blade ones do not have morale. You never have to worry about that. Your leader, the Necron Lord, have morale. Why I didn't get that squad to attack right away, I don't know. Who tell you? There we go. In-game type stuff, the flayed ones, their claws can rip through tank armor. They're just devastating. Increase melee damage, because that just makes sense. That's a population increase. Not as critical, but it is helpful. Yeah, here I guess I went with the Necron Warriors. That's it. Necron Warriors. I like the idea of getting elites in the game and stuff like that. It adds an element of a strategy as to where you go on the map. Get things on the main map. See, now our elites had taken enough damage, even lost someone, that their morale was knocked out, so they're not doing a lot of damage now. But we have another squad in place. I like setting it up so that the Necron Lord is not attacking the base exclusively, but rather attacking whatever comes too close. So if a unit gets too close, the Lord will defend himself. And then once done, we'll go back to the base. That way, on the first map, one of the reasons that the Lord died is because I chose to attack the base exclusively, instead of letting the Lord attack a little bit and defending. So that did lose time. I personally find this map obnoxious, that's why I'm building the turrets. Really, that's it. And then let the scarabs take their time, do whatever at this point. No big deal. There's a few paths that the Lord can take. This is certainly one of them. Not sure if it's faster, but certainly does feel more direct in using the jump ability to bypass impassable terrain. So we're just coming up on 25 minutes in, and we've captured some land. I find that for the regular pieces of land, not for the main bases, that as you get more, which means more elites, more abilities, bonuses, it gets faster and faster and faster. That's what it feels like. Lord really is not taking damage, and we have soon-ish some assistance. So some of the war gear that I would pick for the Necron Lord, I did mention this before, I would usually, when I normally play, always pick the mask so I could see stealth units. And instead, I have switched to the idea of first one to get is the cloak, which is Proud, which allows for faster movement, and I believe less damage taken at range. So range attacks do less. We're not even going to get a flayed one. No way. Yep. Then it would be something like Death Grip, which improves health and damage, and then I would go to the just the melee upgrades. So things are a little different. I'm a little sloppy here in hitting the fast forward skip stuff. We're taking on our first
in
one
a foul
here.
shrine in the Deimos Peninsula, lost souls summoned the Black Apostle Elephant.
I find this one kind of fun to do. I found the strategy for this one, well, quite frankly, years ago with Necron.
Against chaos.
It's funny to say, but yes, literally years ago.
Your soul is gone. I will destroy
And that just has to do with the Necron ability. What you have to do. Oh, look. Alright, I don't know if that showed up on, but I received a phone call from bullshit spam. I think I was doing a stream and I hung up on it. There are now systems for automated calling whatever, where if you hang up without picking up, it registers it as a valid number because there was action. And the only way to avoid it is to let it ring and then hang up, let it disconnect. Terrible. And I believe I hung up on the number that called. It's already called once today. This is the second time. Quite annoying. And in Canada, it's a lot. Need to check program for blocking that number. I think they actually rotate in the phone numbers. It's annoying. Enough of that. I mean, this is what I'm doing here is just building up to one, defend, and two, generate more power to get flayed ones. Now, I do not need this many generators. I do not need that many flayed ones, and I don't have to do what I'm doing here. All of this I have changed. There is actually, I've done another recording, and that's going to go up after this one. And yeah, a lot of this I have changed. It's not necessary. I can do the final stage of taking this map with 4, even 3 just to get started, but 4 flayed ones without increasing the squad size to full, right, before I do the final stage. Let's go. And I can do it on the fly against the enemy, in part because it's, well, easy mode. So these are things that I'm doing now that I won't do in the future because it's not efficient. It absolutely is far from efficient. Both far from efficient for speedrun and just general time of attacking. The only thing that this is good for is it looks cool as hell. That's it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but yeah, I don't need cool as hell for this. It's nice, but it's time that I don't need to. Thank you, Necron Lord, for flinging that cultist all the way over here. I'm sure the flayed ones appreciate it. The flayed ones are actually first Necron. How they got cursed has to do with their lore. It has to do... okay, I'm going off and teleporting. I go straight up the middle. There's a few different options. Going up the middle here is risky, but I like it. You can end up trapped, getting surrounded, and you waste a teleport in time. That's something to be aware of if taking this path. That's a risk. In the what's called the War in Heaven, when the Necrons were fighting the Old Ones, which is a story in and of itself, but the Necrons basically won against the Old One. As their masters, called the Catan or Satan, I've heard ways of saying that. As their masters were gorging themselves upon the life energy of the Old Ones and other beings. Alright, so we got to here. Now I'm teleporting in all the flayed ones.
All written in the war, and yours is death.
And what I need to do is destroy the portal. But, right, as the Catan were gorging themselves, the leader of the Silent King gave the order to a little sloppy. I should already be attacking that portal. That was but should Silent King gave the order to attack the Catan and destroy them. Well, only one of the Catan were outright destroyed, obliterated, erased from existence kind of thing. The rest were shattered into shards. And the one that was outright destroyed with its final breath cursed the Necrons into a wasting hunger, basically. Always hunger, always hungry, and could never be satiated, satisfied. The Necron, nothing really happened initially, but eventually there seemed to be some that were deteriorating. The flayed ones. And their hunger is they actually go out, they hunt sentient creatures, they try to eat, they drape themselves in the skins of their victims and all this kind of really gross, gruesome stuff. And they're little more than animals is actually being kind of generous, but the rest of Necron society kind of shuns them, are afraid of them, they're afraid of catching this and becoming a flayed one, stuff like that. We're done. I find it kind of interesting that to do a speed run, we use a force that the Necrons are afraid of and test and all this kind of stuff because badness. Might even say superstition. It's unclear. They haven't figured out how this happened. How the ones that get turned into flayed one get turned into flayed ones. Going to attack there, yeah. Sometimes there's a little, I really shouldn't say just code not quite working. Like, we should have been attacking in melee there, but instead, for some reason, we're standing in right in front of a cultist, and we're shooting him with our staff. Well, that doesn't make much sense. I'm building up defenses because this is a map that has given me trouble in the past. Not speedrunning, just in general, it's given me trouble in the past. So now we have a few defenses. And this is a very happy kitty that we have a few defenses. Oh, this is a The map said a strength of 6. At 6 and up, there are 2 enemy players on the field, not 1. So you do need to be aware of that. I'm actually taking on player 1 with the Necron Lord, and player 2 is being tackled by our 2 elite troops. Flayed Ones and Warriors. And I'm getting more Flayed Ones. Okay, go on, take out that turret. We need that turret gun. Come on. Come on. That's a good warrior. So yeah, our Lord is not doing too well. That's okay, because our attack on the second there is coming along just fine, and we now have Flayed Ones down here. Go goofs, hit this. Okay, player 1's not destroyed. The computer can do this thing, and I find it very annoying, where you can destroy the main base, but it instantly gets down a new one to build, and you have to spend time taking that out. And I've had it where I've been chasing down 3, 4, or 5 of these things to stop them. It's annoying. I haven't seen it happen too often on easy. It's more likely to happen as you increase in the difficulty options. But it can happen. There we go, player 2 destroyed. Player 1 destroyed. Now the unit that I got there, I do believe that is the Pariahs. Pariahs were removed from the tabletop in the new edition, number 8. Lore-wise, they explained, no, this is an abomination to the Necrons and the Necron tier. Necron tier is the name of their race before they turned themselves into Necrons. Undead metal monstrosities. So they purged all pariahs, lore-wise. This game obviously takes place prior to edition 8 coming out by quite a few years there, and so pariahs are in the game. They are a very powerful unit. You can only build 1 squad of them, while say Flayed Ones, you've seen me have multiple, like of 5. And I'm only limited by the population cap, that kind of stuff. The pariahs, limited to 1. They do not have a morale to worry about. Their basic attack will causes a debuff against units, if I remember correctly. I forget exactly what that debuff is. I'm not too sure. They also have a phenomenal amount of hit points on top of all that. So it's just, yeah, okay, right. Whenever I play a different race and I see pariahs, I go, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. It does take a lot of firepower to take them out. Especially if you happen to be the Imperial Guard, these guys here. Crap, do you need a lot. So yeah, having an elite with a squad of them is just something beautiful. Yeah. Now let's see. Go over here. Yeah, it's there. We do have them, but I forgot to click. Get them. Now the unit that we can get from this land, a destroyer. I did not know just how powerful a destroyer is against regular ground troops for doing speedruns and stuff. They are unbelievable. And a destroyer is classified as a vehicle. I'm running into trouble there. Yep. So it would use the vehicle population cap, which currently is a 0 of 4. Upper left there. And it is... It's basically a waist up Necron on a hover lower body thing. Lore-wise, destroyers are hardwired. They've expanded on that in the 8th edition, and it was in part by choice. Are so determined to we've already destroyed player. Are so determined to destroy all life in the galaxy that no one and nothing is safe. They want a galaxy of dust. This is like beyond genocide. To me, in some of the imagery that happens in the Dawn of War series, and just some of the fluff that's in the books, they don't just want humanoids gone. They want everything, including the microbes, gone across the galaxy. Every plant, every breathing organ, if it lives and reproduces, they want it dead. And that's just beyond that, and just wow. Okay, guys, do you want to take a step? No, you don't. Okay, I'm going to be over here. All right, and hopefully you will let me live a little longer. It's nasty. There we go.
Those opposing Warlord Gorgut's headhunters Green Tide.
Warlord Gorguts!
Challenge the Tau had faced on Cronus for generations.
He's very funny. So in this, you get attacked by them right away.
Arrived. We come for you. Death. You look more like a Yumi who needs some feeding, metal boy. We exterminated all life on this planet once before, and we will do so again. That was before me war got here. Now we the ones doing the exterminating.
You go, Gorguts. You go. here we are at the 50-hour mark. Hair. Thank you. Alright, get hair out of the way. Now, yeah, and we are on just our second main base. But since, you know, you're doing 100%, one thing, bloody invisible, is you can't just go around taking out all the main bases, then all the regular land, because the second that you take out the last tier, the last race, ends. You win. Kind of have to balance things between taking out the races and getting the rest of the land. In this particular map, you are not trying to destroy Gorguts' main base. You are trying to kill him specifically. There's one other race that the goal is to take out a person as opposed to a base. That would be against the Tau. Okay, so we are getting our elites. No, our flayed ones. The cursed ones. And we will soon be off. It is a really chaotic battle. Somewhat understandable. You know, still. Okay, now you please. What am I doing here? Okay, there. Okay. Apparently I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, I ran out of power. We're at 90. The turrets there need 125. You're at 90, so instead of saving up to 125, I built another generator. No. I'll eventually get it. We kind of just end up with a steady stream. That's somewhat normal. We're on our last flayed one that we need to worry about. Yep. Got that turret up. We do want to fully upgrade those because it just means we'll have a third automated weapons. That's a nice way to put it. Here I'm doing that thing again, which I don't feel is actually necessary. I've changed my... Hopefully I can get this done in time. I don't think I will. I think I started doing this post-recording a bit too late this evening. I've been having a tough time finding the 3.5 hours I need. Well, it's not 3.5, but okay, let's just say 3.5 and to do the post commentary on it. Not one thing, it's another. And today I was undecided upon what I wanted for dinner, and I ended up having a later dinner. Yeah, just that. What I really wanted to have for dinner, I couldn't. We don't have the fixings for salad. We don't have lettuce. Kind of hard to have a salad without lettuce. Well, unless if you have the Vietnamese salad? Cabbage. Awesome, by the way. At least the one I had. I am more or less ready to go. Why I'm sitting here is just an absolute waste of time. It really is. Now, there's a few tricky parts, and I haven't found the best way to deal with this.
He's coming for ya. What you doing, Rocket
Now, there
Rangers?
is a way to
He's
get
coming for ya.
Orc to fight Orc. Gorguts has built banners in different camps to secure his dominance, if you will. Destroy the banner, and that camp will turn against Gorguts. I mean, they'll also fight you. I got tied up there. Now, a really rough one is the Squiggoth. That's like their super unit. My goal here is to try and get rid of this banner. I'm not getting out of that. Got it.
Oi! Gorgut's big banner just got itself stomped! We'll stomp all the Gorguts' boys!
So I have to get the Lord back up. And as you can see, that's Orc fighting Orc here. A Squiggoth, oh, they are strong buggers. They are strong buggers. Waiting until the Lord is rebuilt. Go. I'm not caring about the Lord surviving. I'm more interested in getting the Lord into here so I can teleport in the flayed ones. The flayed ones win.
Metal boys, that'll go all nice on me pointy stick. Kill 'em
You and your pointy stick, Gorguts. You and your pointy stick.
If you mean the enemy pointy stick, I'm right there with ya. Ha ha ha! Your bravado will not save you. You Just keep on talking, Yumi. I'll get to you soon enough.
There are a lot of explosions happening. At this base, they have tanks. So that is just makes it that much harder. And come on, we almost got them though. There we go. Done. Now, what's not shown in the cutscene is you don't actually kill Gorguts. He gets away. Sneaky little bugger. He gets away. So now we are set up for if we are attacked here. And I don't mind getting attacked a little bit. Because it allows for brain think. Thank you. It allows for getting like if you defend something like 1 time, 3 times, and 5 times, I believe it is, you get awarded war gear. And that makes you stronger, be able to do things faster. So getting attacked a few times is fine, especially if you can take him out really, really fast. As you can see, that's just like nice and easy and quick and oh yeah. As we take care of their commander, could be. Why aren't I sticking them on the? That's sloppy of me. At this point, it's just like we've already done so much damage. We should be sticking the flayed ones onto the base to take out that base even faster. That is poor management on my part. Absolute poor management. And here I find out, oh crap, there's a second player. And I'm not 100% sure where the second player is. So I go hunting for him. I'm thinking, maybe... Actually, initially I thought it was the opposite corner of where we start. But then I think to check up here. And lo and behold, there it is. Blade ones have another ability. They can teleport to a Necron structure. I think it can be any Necron structure. It only makes sense to teleport him to here. Now I have to wait for them to get settled, load in. I don't know how you would want to word it. Right, okay, forget everything and just attack the base and watch the health of the base. Oh, look at that green go to a beautiful yellow, then to a glorious red. A little slow there on the timing. Then to a win. There we go. And see, we get a bonus here. Death grip, increase damage and health. I think that's what I said before. I'm deciding. I almost have no set pattern to dealing with this, which is not a good thing. But you can be somewhat flexible in that, which is nice, actually. So we'll try and get some flayed ones going. Now imagine if here I am, instead of having to build that every time I go to a new map, it's there automatically, and you can see I can just get flayed ones going right away. You can see the value of it, and that's why I think that it is critical to get the advanced base. You see what I mean? Like, the destroyer's just like one-shotting a lot of the troops there. Part of that has to do with its easy mode. The other part is, destroyer is really, really strong. It's meant to be classified as a vehicle. So, yeah. There we go. That's a player gone. There is a spot. It's such a far point there to jump across. There's like basically one area to jump into. Vespids, those are the things with the wings, the Tau. They can be a little tough. Yeah, I should be sticking the flank ones and stuff on the building there. That is something that I definitely need to improve. Since there's so many map pieces, that time, big difference. And here we go, Tau main base.
When the tide of war turned against the Tau,
the greater
they faced
good.
attack in their stronghold in the city.
That's such a good move. If you don't know what I'm referring to.
Return to the graves that spawned you, monsters. Gladly, but first we must help you to yours.
I love that exchange. I'm sorry, I really do. It's like, we would gladly return to our graves, but we can't let you live. You kind of woke us up. Goodbye. It's like, the Tau are highly advanced. Power armor suits, that kind of stuff. They are interesting. Could they be considered an actual threat to, say, the Imperium of Man? Well, if the Imperium of Man gathered up absolutely every branch, every unit, every army piece they have, and sent them against the Tau,
We will defend it, Commander.
no, the Tau would lose. But that's not. Let's go. The Tau are interesting. They are meant to be kind of like good guys, but it might be better to say they are not as evil? Evil isn't quite the right word, but let's see. Not as questionable as all the other races. I think that's a fair way to put it. But obviously, this one we do get attacked a decent amount, enough that I want to have certain things in place for protection. Our base. There'd be nothing worse than doing a speed run and you've done nothing to protect your base, and all of a sudden your base gets taken. Yeah, that would be bad. You know? So I am looking to, of course, get flayed ones. For some reason I'm really spacing on flayed ones. I know not why, but I am. So that is what we're doing, as well as, of course, the defense, as I mentioned, because this kind of stuff happens. So we have to be prepared. Their weapons do a decent amount of damage. They have the longest range for weapons in this game. You know, just for standard rifles and stuff. So you really do need to be on your toes. Like, look, that turret was knocked down pretty freaking low, you know? Now this is one I mentioned before, where it's like Gorguts. You have to take out a specific individual, and it can be tricky. I find it annoying, and it has to do with the mechanics of the fighting. Often what will happen is, like the Lord or the flayed ones, that kind of stuff, they will hit this unit and the unit goes flying. The thing is, when you knock a unit to the ground, the one that was attacking it, this is in the coding, doesn't register it as a standing valid target and will go off looking for another one. So you are having to babysit, wait for this person to stand up so you can click on them again so that you can go hit them again. So yeah, you're kind of chasing him around. It's test of patience, in my opinion. It's a test of patience. And it can go poorly or it can go pretty good. I kind of had both. I'm just not an overall fan. Need 150 power to upgrade that. But we can get the flayed ones going. Apparently I've decided not to.
For the greater good!
And instead go for upgrading the monolith so that I can upgrade the turrets to a more powerful version. Apparently that's what I decided to do. Now what is interesting about the elites, population cap, that kind of stuff. There is, I'm not going to call it a glitch, I'm going to call it an oversight. Now you see here, I'm on an elite unit, and one of the elite units in the squad was taken out, killed. Now because of the nature of Necron's abilities, the bodies don't go away. There is an ability called Resurrection that the Necron Lord can get. And what you can do is, if an elite unit gets totally wiped out, one gets taken out and you just build to replace it, well, the corpses stay on the ground. You can use the Resurrection ability to resurrect them, and they come back as elite units and do not count towards your population total. I consider that an oversight in the coding myself, but yes, it's quite nice at times. I don't feel it is necessary for speedrunning, but just playing the game, it's a good one to know. It's a good one to have on hand, in my opinion. Okay, there we go. I feel more comfortable, and why I'm upgrading that, I better not be upgrading that. That would just be silly. Although I may, because I'm fairly sure. Some of the buff ability upgrade that you can, Necron Lord. Second row in the middle of the highlighted ones. Not that one. One beside it to the left. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that lines up when I'm talking. I don't know. There's abilities that you can select based upon what upgrades you've done to your base, and if you've upgraded everything, that's where you can find things like Resurrection Orb. You can find one where you are always invisible, and a certain radius around you is also invisible. There's a bunch of other abilities. There's one that I like where it's just millions of scarabs just swarm around your body, and it just increases your health. I really like that one. I think regeneration too. I haven't talked about the regeneration. The bodies of the Necrons are metal, but their bodies are of what's called living metal. It regenerates, it heals, if you will. So yeah, and sometimes even if they kind of get quote-unquote killed, there is the chance that they will come back on their own. Heavily damaged, but they can come back, and the tabletop, it's the ability called We Will Be Back. It's kind of a play on the classic Schwarzenegger line in Terminator, I'll be back. You know, so yeah. I've been sipping on iced tea this entire time. I hope you have a lovely beverage while watching this, listening to this while you're playing a game, doing other things. Chillin'. Even though it's a speedrun where you gotta go, fast, 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 fast. Chill. I know it sounds backwards. Apparently I'm wanting to click on that. You don't need all this. I have such a problem with this level map. Like, I find it frustrating that I think I'm overcompensating in this recording. There we go. And this one is Resurrectional. And Veil of Darkness is the visibility one. But second row, first three are typically what I like to take. Tomb Spiders. They come into play later. Later in the run. They are quite helpful in when taking on the Eldar main base. There's another one that I am really not a fan of. Have I'll keep... I can't tell. Yes, I have. Okay, so it's on group 1. In my second recording, that's something that I, for some reason, kept forgetting to do. Making a hotkey for the base there. Okay, I'm finally moving out. Too much time was spent on the base. As you can see on the mini-map, heavy resistance here. Almost no morale. This area will allow me to jump in very close to the where I need to go for the main base and where the character is that I need to kill.
The Necrons have made it to Unity Plaza. Drive them back before they disrupt communications.
Being invisible does help. But there are units as well as specific buildings that will break that. So you need to be aware of that. Coming up to one soon.
They are inside the Citadel. Crisis suits, attack. All crisis teams, engage the enemy. Commander, the Necrons have found Onel. Fire warriors, beat these horrors back. Protect Onel at all costs.
These creatures have no souls at all.
I cannot see Arnell.
Strike teams, choose your targets and attack.
To point out. Oh, there in the upper right. Now lower. It has long robes and is carrying a staff. There we go. That's who we want to kill. As you can see, like, the flayed ones knock him down, we knock him down. Don't want to knock him down. Waiting, because he'll run off and then come back to this area. So we don't have to go chasing all over the map. We just have to be aware. I think he's back, but I don't notice him in the recording. No, there he is. Like, you can even see, like, when I knock him down, like, attacks like this, I don't have the symbol, meaning that I can attack them, like I can select them. Haven't done too much damage, which is a little frustrating. I don't think it's necessary to get the additional abilities like turning invisible and stuff. I think just focusing on getting here. And do we have him yet? No. Yes. Bloody end.
In the clash.
Yeah, for some reason I take that, like, trying to switch your mind from a typical play and what would be good to a speedrun, it's certainly, is very different. It's not something that I really expected, like something like, okay, you're picking war gear. Just how different and even important it is to pick some of the war gear and differences, you know, between regular play and speedrunning. Speedrunning, you really are sacrificing certain things for other things. Where in regular gameplay, it isn't about the speed of getting to your enemy. It's more about efficiency in getting to your enemy to make sure that you crush them properly, efficiently. Speedrunning is certainly a different focus and not I was expecting or I am used to yet. That is very fascinating to me, just how different it is. I let the destroyer kill those units because that's where the destroyer excels, and then when done can do this, and I think that is an effective combination. I'm even looking at this as a learning experience as to where to go from here. A little bit of a surprise to be attacked here, honestly. Not expecting that. But I'm gonna go here, like how to change the strategies. Like one of them being, it would be incredibly helpful and beneficial if I take the time to take the time's not the right phrase, but if I bump up on the queue of what lands to take, and one with a destroyer probably should take very quickly when it comes to a regular land piece, when I'm not going for the special bonuses, which is the airport, may as well call it that. Then the advanced forward base, we have not seen that fight yet. And then the energy, and then after that I should probably go for the destroyer. That would probably be the most effective, honestly. Should be a base over here. I do not have a lot of experience fighting a regular match on this map. It's iffy, kind of guessing. But one of the safer bets one of the safer bets is to go to the opposite corner. This is one of those scenarios where I told you about where, oh, they're attacking the base and we're doing nothing. You know? Like, we have nothing in place. That was the nature of this map, though. So what I can do to fix that is win the map. No, what to do that would be to, as I did, get the flayed ones out. Why am I having trouble with flayed ones?
General Lucas Alexander
Why?
became
I don't know.
Governor Militant.
Maybe I'm cursed and I'm not supposed to say it. You know? That could be it. But to get a flayed one out there, and that would have really fixed things up.
The Necrons are here. Drive them back to their tombs, men.
It is your men who go to their tombs, Governor.
I actually showed this in one of my Let's Plays, this specific map. Yeah, this is kind of, for this map, this is how you would speedrun this map, this type of strategy. And I just went for it, you know? And I showed it off. No, voice. You are not allowed to go yet. Getting a little raspy there. In part, that means I'm not breathing properly. Also not talking properly for my voice training, which is bad of me. For shame, Sarah. For shame. I should ask my husband what the next step is for the voice training. Even if he feels that I'm not ready for it, I wouldn't mind knowing it and doing it periodically, not all the time. The reason why I say husband for voice training is he actually has, he took a minor in university for music theory and singing and stuff like that, so he also sings. So he's helping me with feminizing my voice more, so yeah. Oh, awesome husband! Pardon me. Excuse me. And see, one of the things here, instead of building these turrets, building these generators. Thank you, brain, for eventually remembering the word. Building the generators, I can eliminate that by the advanced base and just bring along 4 of them and 4 turrets and that first building there, and I'm ready to go. I just need to get 3 or 4, depending upon the map, of the flayed ones inside and go to it, you know? I'd say for this map you only need 3. Or at least, you know, just like, okay, the 3rd one's almost done. Let's send the Necron Lord out. We'll get to the point, and by the time I get to the location where I need to be to destroy the base, I will have the 3rd one working on the 4th one. Perfect. And I think that's all that's required. There's a lot of guns at that base. And artillery and heavy support, and I don't know if they got the tanks at that. Don't know. And just teleport over, teleport over. The base is not in the opposite corner, it's on the same side as us. And normally you'd have to go down one side of the map, cross over through this
I have the
valley.
enemy in my sights. First company, hold the enemy back, no matter the cost.
There we go.
Liberators, the enemy
And then
has
get
made
to
it
the
northern
other
shore.
side and then work your
Redeploy
way
to drive
up
them back.
where the main base is. And one of the reasons also why the Lord here is having trouble just moving forward is they have a lot of turrets and stuff like that, knocking the Lord over. So that does create a problem.
Nightbringer has come for you, Governor.
Hold the line, men! Push these metal monsters back to the hell they crawled out of!
So much fear, so much noise.
Get rid of the heavy support just because it's a pain. That's doing that. And it gives us room to surround this base. Like, I don't think I need full squads. I think 3 would be enough initially, and then just check with the monolith. It's okay, 4th one, okay, go up.
Sergeant,
That time spent isn't necessary, I feel. And the Imperial Guard have fallen. Now, there is a way to mitigate, and I certainly will be taking that land, and we'll talk about it. Mitigate the chances of how often you have to defend. So here we have 2 players again. little bit ahead there for the jumping of Lord there. So we have our destroyer getting into position. Naturally. You can do 2 jumps right away, then there's a short recharge, and you can do 1, then it's a longer recharge. Kinda what I'm waiting on. There we go. Here, definitely get rid of that turret there. Don't want it. It's a little off as to where I clicked on the map there, but it's not a huge deal. One reason, destroyer. Look how fast it moves. Speaking of fast, the pariahs actually move very quickly as well. Faster than the other base units there. So that's something to keep in mind as well. That it is handy to bring them along because, well, they move fast. We want to go fast, fast, fast. Go, go, go. Right? Yeah. One of them got a grenade up, which knocks you down. That's its ability, in fact. We'll eventually get through. Come on, get an attack. It's very frustrating. There. Oh, oh my goodness. Holy jeez. And there we go. Yep, gone. Bye-bye. It's ours.
It was during the Horus Heresy that the influence of chaos first drove Space Marine against.
Okay, so here is where you can get the ability to basically, on the large map, act in one turn. That's how you can end up getting counterattacked less often. Because if you're taking a land every turn, and that changes to you're taking 2 land every turn, that's less of an opportunity for them to come at you. So this does have a benefit. It's not huge. Okay, I don't feel like it is a huge benefit, but it does have its place. So getting it sooner rather than later may mean having to deal with fewer counterattacks. Now, what you have to do on this map is destroy 140 enemy units. Bloodshed. Blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne. That's kind of what it is, you know. Corn. I think that's for corn. So really all I'm doing is, okay, I took all of my elites and I have formed them into a unit, and I'm using the command of attack. So I just press A, click a spot on the map, and that hotkey group, whatever, will go find a path, and if they happen to encounter any enemies, they will divert, they will fight them until either they're destroyed or there's no more enemy within their radius, and then continue moving to the spot that you clicked. And that's really it. Honestly. I have not experimented, and I need to. If I wipe out the bases, all the structures, so they cannot produce more units, do I automatically win? And where are those buildings located? So if I can find that out, I may be able to speed up this map quite a bit. Time will tell. Actually, not time. Practice will tell. That's one of the things that, you know, I don't mind working on. I don't mind testing out. And even if I don't have an answer and I've already submitted a time, you know, that's okay. That's cool. Means I have room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. And so, yeah, I am not concerned about if somebody eats my time.
You must kill more of them.
Good. Because it means somebody is watching it. Somebody is challenged by this. They want to do better than I did. That's wonderful. That's just getting more people in. And I love the idea of RTS games getting a little bit more exposure. Like when this past summer, Games Done Quick, they had Warcraft. Yeah, like the first one. Yeah, that RTS. And it's like, I think this is the first RTS game that they've put on. And I was so happy that they had an RTS game being represented. And it was just really nice to see, so that there's just more exposure, more games, more options. So the people that are watching that may be inspired to start speedrunning, or speedrunners who go, you know, never thought about doing that game before. I really like it. Let's give it a try. I love that. And no, that's not why I started running. My husband convinced me. Not convinced me, but said that, you know, I should give it a try. I do enjoy watching some of the speedruns and stuff like that, and I very much enjoy certain types of RTS. I'll put it that way. And yeah, this seems like a fantastic thing before. It's taken me a long time to get to this point because I'm a little bit slow and a little bit hesitant. Not the greatest in confidence in trying to do and try new things, but got there in the end, and here we go. I'm even uploading this, even though it is a faulty speedrun. I was about to say failed speedrun. No, it's faulty. We're up to 102.
Yes, just a few souls more.
I did watch someone's speedrun. Run.org? Of all main bases. Now, this person, very fast, good with the shortcuts. I would be hard pressed because I have a very hard time with the shortcuts. But they focused on the gameplay, no voice, no nothing. I do Let's Plays. I love doing Let's Play. And so I'm going to talk through, like, this one happens to be post, but I hope in the future. Oh, there we go. We just need 3 more and we're done.
The power
Hey.
of the Blood God shall be yours.
Hey, thank you. Always nice to be in Corin's eyesight. But for me, the talking during play. There we go. Death Shroud. Increase speed, reduce damage taken. That's a win combo. But yeah, I like the idea of talking through, even if it means a slower speed, slightly more mistakes, because you're trying to talk and speedrun, you know? I don't mind that. This talking about some of the whys, and then maybe talking about some of the lore in the game and what's going on, and or not the game, but pardon me. Gives me a second. Tickle. Better. But the lore in the game, the lore in the universe, because I very much enjoy Warhammer 40k. I love the idea of being able to talk while I do this. That happens in one that will be uploaded. Already done. I just haven't been able to do this one. So it's just something I very much enjoy. And if somehow, like, if my times improve, which quite frankly they do improve quite a bit in the next video, I'm not going to say the time, but it is certainly noticeably less, even though there's a huge mistake in it. Oh yeah, there's a huge mistake, but all you have to do is look at the total length of the video versus total length of this video. Yeah, it's less. Anyways. There we go. We got rid of player 1. We just need to go up and get rid of player 2. This way. And, yeah. The idea of being able to share some of the love, some of the lore, or even just general chit-chat, because what's happening on screen is incredibly boring. Nothing's going on, you know? Like right now, I'm just jumping. Oh, there we go. We're gonna fight now. Yeah, just why not? Why not do what I normally do? I hope that some people do find this entertaining, or at least particularly educational. How to speedrun and what not to do. Especially in this video. What not to do for speedrunning this mistakes. Like, here we are again defending this one. It's a little ridiculous. Now, the reason why we have our full force here is we happen to be within one landmass, I think it is, or basically beside it, and therefore all our support, all of our elites and stuff can quickly go over and support this land. That was the mechanic of the game. There we go, we got a destroyer coming in, we got our force. No problem. That was really fast because I didn't have to build anything. I'm just building stuff because I can. Well, I guess there is the advantage of, well, building it means we're just that much quicker, that much faster in taking care of things should we have to deal with a counterattack again. We repelled the attack, though, so fast that I could not even reinforce. Okay. I could not even train? Oh, upgrade. That's what it is. Upgrade the monolith.
Raven's chapter were
There we go.
entrenched
Yeah, I was
in their
clapping because I
castellum in
finally
North
remembered
Landing.
what I was going to say. So we're about to take on the
Death has come.
Blood
for you,
Ravens.
Space Marine.
Ravens of Blood.
We are the Emperor's finest. We will not fall to you, alien.
This chapter was actually created for the game, and it became part of the tabletop lore, which is really cool. I missed that clue right there, that something was not that it was amiss, but something was different. I did catch it, and that was, I thought I missed it initially, but normally there is not that artillery piece right there hitting our base. I think what it is enough time had passed that the AI upgraded their home base to a point where that whirlwind was added to the area. So, yeah. So be aware of that. Like, if you can change up your pattern, you can attack things at different times, but know that maybe something like that will happen where the main base may be a little bit different. There may be more or there may be less than what there is the last time you speedrun the area or just played, just because of how much time has passed or how quickly you got to that area. Now, that whirlwind initially caught me off guard. I do remember that, like, hang on, wait, what? You're not supposed to be here. What the hell's going on? Because most of my other practice or what other speedruns and stuff, and when I would hit that relatively quickly, what would happen is I wouldn't be there. So yeah, it caught me off guard, and I had to adjust. Thankfully, with the Necron Lord and the teleporting, that was an easy adjustment. Now, if it was another race that did not have such an ability, I have to wonder. Yes, I would. So we do get attacked. I don't think at this junction I was looking at building massive base. I think I just wanted to get it going. Now, this one's a little bit tricky when you hit the actual main structure because they have a orbital bombardment. It does a lot of damage. They also have some really big heavy hitters when you're first getting into the base. Teleport or not, when you're dealing with Devastator squads and things like that, it feels like they have thunder hammers and crap like that. It's just like, And the best armor of a Necron would still have trouble. It's just pretty freaking tough stuff there. Do I hotkey it? Hotkey it. Why am I not hotkeying it? Sarah, hotkey that, would you? Sarah, why aren't you listening to me? Hotkey it. Silly girl. I never listened to me. Pretty obvious, isn't it? Even though it is really hard, in what we're going to face on this one, I don't feel it's necessary to do what I was doing on the other maps as well, where it's like, okay, we have those, the flayed ones, and I think I bring them out to reinforce the squads. Do I bring them out? I'm pretty sure I do. Surprised if I don't. But I think this one, 3, I think you can get away with, generally speaking, for all the maps. 4 is an absolute clinch. You got it, no worries. And there's no reason to reinforce the squads in advance. Hey, actually, don't oh my goodness. I don't reinforce the squads. Odd. So we're about to jump into their monastery. I think that's what... I'm waiting for it to recharge a little. There's nothing that... You might find something that might cross your path, but nothing that will attack you. That's about where you want to go, and... Oh, I did hotkey it. So you got... there you go. It's just so much firepower.
Isn't over yet.
But your life
there we go.
is.
Bring them the Emperor's wrath, brothers.
Emperor's Wrath. That would be the orbital bombardment. Where is it? There it is, that mark on the ground. Whee! The Necron Lord's just being tossed around like a rag doll. You can see that this one is a bit of a tough one. We got some powerhouses defending. Heavy bolters and stuff.
Even
Okay. See, I really wanted to avoid the one with the 8 there. That's where you get the advanced base. And I just really didn't want to deal with it because I wasn't too sure how to, or really what was going to be involved. I figured it would take such a long time. That kind of stuff. That was a reason behind why I just wouldn't do it. No, I don't need to know that meme. Just do it. There we go. Remnants of the Orcs. I do like that mechanic. Just because you take out the main base of a race doesn't mean that the other lands just, become... They stay there in those other lands. I like that. An easy fight. Apparently I'd rather get an elite scarab than go for the forward base. Yeah. I have since learned, no, the forward base is, at least on the 100% run. Okay. We are going... Wait, I wasn't paying attention. Who are we fighting here? Oh, you know what? I'll see soon enough. You're fighting Tau. Okay, here, that particular style of cannon is meant for anti-vehicle, which means it would do a phenomenal amount of damage against our destroyer. I don't want that. I want our destroyer to do its thing. Ah. Come on. Okay, there, we got a pariah squad in there. Since our leader lost morale, that's why we weren't doing the kick-ass damage. But with the pariah squad in there, not a problem. Have an immortal squad. Immortal squads are my favorite. You have the warriors, then immortal squads. Then you have more of a specialty like the flayed ones or pariahs, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, Lord comes in, takes out that because we've recovered enough morale. Which we have since lost. Probably because of the big cannon up there. Just as we slowly go march in and win. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, I'm just looking around. Looking around. This is an interesting map. Our enemy is across the waterway for player 1. So with the teleport ability, it's rather easy. That's something that I haven't been doing. If you notice, I put the 2 elite blade ones into the monolith to teleport them over. You can do that, I just haven't been. Like, why worry about it? But this, I decided to. Fight! Fight, 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 fight. There, apparently I do it again. Jump. We decimate them. Okay, I get them onto there. One or two players. Didn't notice the strength. 2-player. This feels like a very small map. They are not doing enough damage to worry about. I don't know if... Yeah, it can be a problem. Definitely with their leader here. But we have enough help. See, I'm just avoiding that like crazy. Having a race with a destroyer. You heard any of that noise? That was me crunching on ice from my drink. Come on. Hurry up. Let the destroyer again do what it is basically designed to do. Kill all life. Wraiths are interesting. Amusingly, a tabletop game. It's my husband. He likes playing Tau. I like playing Necron. The Wraiths, he has never killed any of my Wraiths. And this is the old edition, like 5th edition. Or 6th or something. He has, I would send my Wraiths against his vehicles. And he would be lucky enough that after my Wraiths destroyed his vehicles would blow up and take out my Wraiths. But he has never actually killed my Wraiths with weapons. It's always been me causing an explosion and the explosion taking out my Wraiths. Good times. Good times. Also reminds me of our previous cat, Boots. One time when we were playing, Boots jumped up onto the table, looked at all the figures, saw one of my Necrons that had been killed was over to the side, just looked at it and just went whack, knocked it to the floor. Oh, that was good. That was some good funny stuff there. I should say we're finally going to do it. A wraith is a construct,
Although the local
an
workers never
actual
realized
robot.
it, the minds of Cronus's
Sophisticated AI programming, but it is a robot. Okay, now what is unique about this is you don't have a base. You have a set amount of power or requisition in power, depending, and you need to go around and destroy, well, the number was 54, now 55 buildings to get this map. You have all your elites, and you have two special big units, right? The ultimate. Ours is an awakened monolith. You can have just one. Here they give you two. Also here they give you two pariah squad. So if you have an elite pariah squad, you have three, which is just nasty. Now, for the Lord abilities, they actually give you the Resurrection Orb. So, technically, you can bring back units, get additional squads, all that kind of stuff, and not have to worry about requisition. So the buildings that go on those points there, they do not count as a building that needs to be destroyed for this map. That is important to know, so you know where to go, what you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about capturing points or anything like that. Sorry for that whistle. And so yeah. Now I have come up with a decent method of attacking to get units. Which reminds me, there's one thing that I didn't do here. I don't know if I do it. And that is the squads that can be reinforced. I haven't reinforced them. That does take power, but it's like, who cares? Seriously, who cares? So we have our monoliths. Thank you, brain. It's been a long day, and we still have about an hour to go. Yeah. Reminds me. Oh shit. Ah. 9:52. Not gonna be done till 11 or whatever. I usually go to bed at like 10:30. Let's try to. I'm supposed to feed sushi. What? She likes food. Huh. At about this time too. So there is no pause function in OBS Studio. I would like it. Yes, it is used mostly for streaming, but some use it for recording. It is very good for recording. It's also free. Yeah, I certainly would enjoy pause function. Just for this exact scenario. Well, I could just stop the recording and then piece it together. I mean, that's not the end. I'm trying to think of what to do here. Because you have ever lived with a cat, whether it be yours or not, you know when it comes to food time. Unless if the cat is just so chill at that moment, you can expect a visit. Where's my food? You're supposed to feed me. Where's my food? I want my food. Why haven't you got me my food yet? Not just the translation of the very first meow. Then it gets serious. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright. I'm still thinking about this, and I have refined how I deal with this map to be a little bit better. Taking far more advantage of what the monoliths can do. And why am I hearing noise from the... I don't see a furball. Probably on the leather chair. My husband's chair. It's a nice chair. My dad had one like that. Not anymore. Good chair. So I sent my force into here, which is one of the changes that I made. You'll see in the next one that I don't send this force in. I actually send one of the monoliths in. Or at least close by. And I've certainly done it in practice. You know what? It worked better. See, if you look at the mini-map where we're going into this area, there's one that goes down. So I'll send this force that is active right now on the screen. I'll send it down to wipe out all there. I'll take one of the monoliths and I'll clean everything out here. The other monolith doesn't follow. There's no need. It's so powerful that it's not necessary, that I can send it out to make sure that I get a few outlier buildings that can crop up, have cropped up. Because there's nothing worse than on this map when it's like, okay, and you have 2 buildings left and you have no idea where the hell they are. So by dividing the forces up, I'm kind of conquering things at multiple same times, if you will. At slightly different rates of time because, wow, we're monoliths slow, but you get the idea, and monoliths can go slow, systematically, methodically, through certain areas, covering them and preventing forces from getting in behind you and building. And you can send the fast one through and get the other areas, and far more efficient. You know what? When this map is over, I am going to pause this video, stop the recording, take care of sushi, then start it all up again. I'll just piece it together in post. Actually, would it be post or would it be post? Because this is post. What I'm doing right now is post. Now I'm just post confused. Ay. That's not good. It'll also give me a short break for my voice. It is getting a little strained. It just get over being sick. Now, if you noticed, their population cap was at 22 of 12. It dropped to 20, so we did lose a squad. Now with the Resurrection Orb, I can go and get that squad back. Heck, I can even set it up so I can get more than just back if I really want to. There's just no reason to. Like, look at what we're doing. Again, this is in part because it's easy mode, but we're just devastating orcs here. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Use that attack option because it's so narrow here. We will be able to catch all of the buildings that we want to take out. Nothing down there, so we just need... We don't have to, actually. I can run away. But we blow it up so fast. Send it to there, because there's some buildings over here that I know. That is a elevated area, so we'll have ramp land that will be going up. There's only 4 buildings left. We don't have to touch that. It's not even actually built. It's a placeholder for the builders to go to. Somewhere along the way, I apparently improved the squads. I don't remember seeing that. You saw it. Cool. But it certainly wasn't necessary. As you can see, this is just like a joke. Mostly because of all the elites that pop of course that they give you. Now with the change of strategy that I do, and it's I take this land early. It's actually the 3rd land that I take, making sure that the squads are at full strength. Practically a necessity. So we're after 2 more buildings. And there's a couple of buildings here, not counting that one. Past this, there's one. There more? Just one. This is where I have to go hunting, and this is part of where I eventually develop a strategy to using the monoliths different to make sure that I actually get some of these buildings I could potentially miss. Now, I waited until I had a unit like right to the edge there. And I'm moving all up the side here because somewhere along here is where most likely the building that I missed, again, this one. That doesn't count. But in the new strategy, I take care of this contingency and other ones that have cropped up by tackling it different by using the monoliths more effectively. There's 2 dots there. That's the last building. basically there I had wasted time because I had to backtrack to find the building. Things are a little bad here because I didn't build anything. So that's a small problem. And the computer will, I'm not going to say zerg you right away. It will actually send out just whatever they have, which is typically their commander and potentially any elites right away. Zerg, in my opinion. Units. Like, there we go. We're already being attacked. That's their commander. And, yeah. I mean, if this was on normal, boy, would we be getting our butt kicked. Seriously, it's just terrible. As you can see, we're dealing with their. Yeah, I have to get some warriors out there. I typically player defeated, but only some of the troop gone, which means the mix of player 1, player 2. I typically save the Eldar for last, and that is terrible. Goodness! Oh my goodness! I'm going to have to hang on to the mouse here, otherwise I'll hit again. Yeah, well, it's like, pull it off, we're about to take out the player 2 base, but yeah, that was sloppy there. Very sloppy. Okay. Well, hopefully the timing of this works out. I'm back from Phoenix. See there, that's the advance I was talking about. Use it here. The advanced base. Power. Yeah, go there. That's power. Oh, I brought all of it, so I should have also the defense. Yep. This can be a tricky map in general. Pathing is certainly an issue, well, in any game, really. Let alone if it's speedrun or not. Their defense turrets are very weak in general. if you can hit them. I say that and it's like we're doing no damage. What? That's strange, even for no morale. Do I bother with deep strike here? Or teleporting, or with... Wraiths are quite powerful. Ah, killed their leader. They can do damage to... Well, everything can do damage to everything. Question is it effective or not? Wraiths do okay against buildings and stuff like that, so... Yeah, because I did not take any of these points, our population cap did not increase to 12. Now, normally it is defaulted to like 8. That's where that special land of increased population cap really helps, because you start off at a higher number. Normally you're restricted to 20 troops and 20 vehicle points, if you will, and that land increases the population to 24 and 22. And that's it for this map. Destroyer's almost there. You gotta love the speed of the destroyer. Almost gets a shot off. Almost gets a shot off. Now, this map, boy, do I have trouble with this map. Now, one of the issues that I have is
Eldar rely on stealth
you
and
don't
trickery where others
kill a
trust
specific
direct claws
target.
and valor.
You don't
An ancient and
destroy
debased
the
people.
base. You have to hold 3 points at the same time for 10 minutes. I'm just kind of staring at, like, are you serious?
And I await.
Finally,
Now,
accept the inevitable.
I do know that there's some kind of a glitch, some kind of avoiding. I would love to see the video of it, but on Speedrun, like, there is any category of 8 minutes? Or 8 minutes and change? So I don't know what that constitutes as for that category. Because if it means, you know, like somehow including the Necron main base, how is that possible? 8 minutes and you have to hold that point for 10. Is it the glitch? Like, I really would like to see video of it. I just haven't noticed where the link is. If there is a link, I don't know. Maybe they took them. I have to look. I don't know. Anyways, what I'm just like curious about that. and just what that category entails. If it's like, take any land, well, I can do it 8 minutes. Rather easily. You saw me do it. The very first land that I go for is a 3 strength. Takes less than 8 minutes. Anyways, yeah, that's my question. As you see, I brought the full forward base, which gives some defenses right off the bat. Get attacked right away, which is pretty much standard for all the bases, all the main bases. Kinda need to be ready that will happen. Not so much ready for it, because sometimes you can kind of fudge around it, you know. Now, initially, I do a few screw-ups of things here, but in future practices, as well as the next video, no. I do a better job of things. Now, on this map, I didn't say, but you may have recognized, wait, those are not Eldar corpses over there. They are orcs. There are 2 other races on this map. That's Chaos as well as
We was
Orcs.
right to split off from Gorguts's lot. We're gonna have us a proper war right here. War!
Sorry. Now, with this,
We should use the squiggles on them. No, leave them be.
if you take the time to do the map properly, and you take out the Chaos, and you take out the Orcs, you get bonus elite troops for this map only. And it can be worth it. It most certainly can be worth it if playing the map properly. And I would say speedrunning it is not playing the map properly. You are bypassing certain things that were intended to be done as part of the map. That. And so, yeah, we can't fit any more into there. It only holds 5, but we have 1 that is already done. So the second that we teleport to Deep Strike, 1 of those flayed 1 squads out of there, the other one just go boop and fill that spot. And handy. So I have 6 ready to go. And obviously I can get more. Now I'm moving up to the Eldar section. Now there's some interesting little bugs here. None of them are glitches, if you will, in your favor. It's just bad programming. There are some spots where you can run right up to the target as if you're going to melee it, and if you are set up in the options in the lower right over there to melee, you can't. You have to shoot them. You have to make sure that you are set up for that. Either with a unit that can shoot, or changing an option. Like here, because our Lord is set up to strictly melee. Like, it'll shoot as it charges in. But here you see it's not moving in to attack, and that's not because there are guardians? Are they guardians? It doesn't matter. Eldar, or as some call them, space elves, are in the way. Yeah, you kind of have to shoot it. We were starting to shoot it. Now, one of the reasons why I am upgrading all the way is one of the ways that I defend one of the points, one of the 3 points is to get a fully awakened monolith, so it is a moving weapon platform. And just park it. There, see, I have to forcibly tell it to shoot. Or, you know, maybe just pull off these. Because that works. We are getting close to the end-ish. Now, one of the frustrating things that can happen is that... Do I bother with that? Do I bother with that? I can't. 325. Is that if the Eldar take back or take away one of those 3 points that you have to hold, obviously the timer doesn't stop. It goes away, you have to take the points back, and it starts all over again. You just want to pull your hair out, and you gotta wait 10 bloody freaking minutes. It's very frustrating for a speedrun, and there's been some very weird stuff happening at times where, yeah, it's like it's not necessary for me to do that. Sorry. Just reaching for my hairbrush. There'll be like times where there's, you see that the flag is going down on one of these points, and you go, but there's no unit around there, and somehow it's like one member of the unit got close enough to start the process. The rest of the squad got held up somewhere else, maybe by pathing or something. And so unless if you can somehow find them in time and kill them, you lose the point. It is one of the most infuriating, obnoxious bugs that can happen, especially for this map. So, yeah, it's very, it doesn't happen in this video, it happens in the next one, and you'll see what I mean. Like, you are losing a strategic point, and just like, okay, where? And you go there, and there's no one here, and you lose the point, and the timer over because you take it back. Are you freaking serious? It's just, yeah, no, you know? Yeah, trying to take out that thing, we died.
A fast strike in and out.
Yeah, so this, yeah, we're During the little interlude, so I could feed Sushi, let my husband know. It's just like, yeah, there's 40 to 15 minutes left for post recording. Like, holy crap. Let's see, normally I'd be like ready for bed, setting things up. Oh, and then going to lie down probably, and so you may think 10:30. Wow, that's like you're old to go to bed that early. Well, it really doesn't have too much to do with age, although I am older, yes, but more of both, you know, the chronic pain, stable, you just get tired. And the other, which is a about a 10-pound reason. It's called Sushi. She likes to wake me up between 4 and 5. I try to feed her around 5 in the morning. So, yeah. I'm sending right. They are very powerful. They are classified as vehicles. Anyways, yeah, so she wakes me up very early. My day typically, assuming that I do not have any issues sleeping due to health, I'm typically up maybe around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. By about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm back in bed to... This is another one. That turret over there can only be shot. You would think you can melee it, but you can't. But anyways, by 7 or 8, I'm back in bed to take my morning nap. I tried to sleep until about 11. And then I tried to be up for the day, which is actually harder than it sounds. Okay, yeah. So we're at the point of where the Eldar want to counterattack us because their plans with using the orcs and the chaos to act as a buffer didn't work against us. I'm bringing up a whole bunch of scarabs because I want to take over that relic point so I can get the fully awakened monolith and start defensive. And I'm building a monolith here. So it's a little bit more time. Again, it's kind of all adds up, you know? Funny that.
Death will silence you, sorcerer.
As you can tell, like when I...
Necrons!
Yeah.
The Eldar has tricked us! Destroy these mechanical monstrosities, and then find me that alien witch!
Uh-huh. So, yeah. My day where I get to actually function, do things, is very short. And unfortunately, yeah, it's the way that life dealt cards for me. So here we are capturing the point and building monolith. Now we've built everything else necessary to fully upgrade and build it. It just... time. Always taking time.
The Bastion remains strong, Farseer, but the webway gates to your Wraith ship are vulnerable.
Our course is clear then. Protect the gates at all costs. Without them, we may never escape this world. We must drive the attackers back.
Go ahead. Dum. Okay. You can see, well, like, lots of damage against our tomb spider. Tomb spiders are like the wraiths. They are full constructs, robots.
Is complete, Eldar. We know you cannot escape this world without your webway gates. We will take them from you and then purge this world of your race.
Oh, nice that we have a plan about things, you know? So we're at 57 minutes. Video is 3 hours 19 minutes. And it takes 10 minutes to hold, so not too much longer. So yeah, like, doing something like this, such a big chunk of my day, it is hard to set aside time. But I do try. It's also one of the reasons why, like, I explained that just like add this or that. And that's probably a big part, is there's just not a lot of time in my day due to my health. That's the way it is. So this has been sitting, waiting to be done for weeks, actually. Frustrating, but just something that I have to accept. Now, I feel I put too many turrets here. What I would like to try and do is maybe have 2 turrets there, plus the obelisk, and 2 turrets at each of the other locations for the ending of this map, which is starting maybe in the next 7 minutes, I'm guessing. It's that point there that we need to capture for one of them. We do need to kind of make a hole, if you will, clear out the enemy. Now, at each of the locations, or at least 2 of the locations, I want to have Tomb Spider. I want to have the flayed one. And at least 1 turret to reveal stealth units to help defend everything, you know? Now, I haven't taken the first one there. I don't have a really solid reason. It just feels as if I do, it's going to cause a problem. Like, it's going to trigger part of an aspect, trigger a next phase or something. I don't know if it does. That's just what it feels like. Now, getting a pariah squad out is good. It takes 4 slots. Pariah Squad is just so powerful, it is worth it. Especially for this, this point, this part of the map, this part of the fight. Those, fire prism called? I always get them confused. They are so difficult to take out. I have such a hard time with them in general. So really, this is all I'm doing is now making a hole in this direction. They have a lot of defensive turrets here. And I have to take them all out. For one thing, we need to get at least one scarab through here to capture the point, let alone do anything else. And one of the reasons why to get rid of the webway is, well, they can teleport troops through there. Do they? It doesn't take much to take one out. Why take the chance if the AI decides to suddenly do that and cause a problem for you? Why bother? It's not worth it, you know? That one that fires less often and a giant ball that has an area of effect and is meant to be anti-vehicle trained. So it is rather powerful against regular squads. Even a Pariah, because you notice I've had to replace units. It's the AoE effect. Really must remember to turn off Steam. What's interesting is the timer. I could only get the timer, or the timer only works if the game is in window mode, right? Full screen, it doesn't work. Full screen window mode, it should work. I don't know. This game does not have a window mode officially. The Steam version, you can force it into a window mode. And that's what I did for this game. It's actually now how I record it always, just to make my life easier so I'm not constantly changing settings and stuff like that. Because it is a little annoying to get it in window mode. You have to go into the Steam directory on the computer and go to this game, go into the graphics setting, and then every freaking time that I want to speedrun, I'm just gonna leave it as window mode. A lot easier. As you can see, I finally got through there. I'm a little bit off in my estimate about when we actually start taking the points, but 18 spider that right. And we're fighting there, which expect. Oh, here, please. Yes, thank you. And I will be breaking. 4. That's a pretty good mix. Pariah, Doom Spider. Taking the point. Taking the point. Taking the point. Got 3 here and a spider. And then once we capture these points, which will be in pretty rapid succession there, it's a 10-minute wait. We have a deck of cards. We play a quick game or something. Texas Hold'em. Blackjack. Go fish. Cardassian Pinochle. So there I destroyed 2 turrets, so one at each. And the sole purpose, that is a location, or to the side or front, is for detecting stealth. The scarabs do detect stealth, but this is just added, you know. Plus, it's an extra gun, which is always good. We have chaos hitting us here. So orcs will attack us over here, and
drive them back. The Wraithbone will never answer
now we've
your
got a
call,
second
outsider.
one.
Retreat now. We
And
cannot
the third
allow
one.
them to hold the gates for long. Show them no mercy, brothers
10
and
minutes.
sisters.
Hopefully all that timing matches up. Never mind. Watching this in a player, commenting the recording, and then I'll throw the commentary into Audacity and then merge it with the actual video game sound, and then create one soundtrack and then put it on the video and compress. That's how it goes. Now, there's no reason to not the turrets, you know, just none. Back there, I don't know. Go up there, would you? Yes, thank you. Excellent. Now, you saw, if you were really quick in seeing that, a whole bunch of flayed ones got knocked to the ground. That would be from the fire prism. Fire prisms love attacking on either side. On either of the side points. The really big thing that they send after you down the center, where I have the fully awakened monolith, is their Avatar of Cain, which is a big ass giant thing with flames and a huge sword that makes anything out of Final Fantasy. Toothpick. Saying. Just saying. What I should do is go to the main base and get rid of a couple of turrets and put them up on either side. Side ones there. They are annoying. We will will not convince me anything else. Fire prisms are annoying. I have a chunk of metal sticking in my leg right now. I need a new chair. I'm hoping we watch the Avatar game fight the monolith. There it goes. Now, there is a tomb spider at our base, but it is classified as an elite. But if it gets taken out, then things get really, really weird. Because while you have your elite, you can have 4 tomb spiders. But if your elite gets taken out, you can have 3, but it uses the corpses, if you will, of all 4. So if you have it spread out like this, you could end up getting a tomb spider in the wrong location. I leave that elite tomb spider down at the main base. Can't cause a problem there. Oh, there was a fire prism that showed up, but I do believe that our lovely monolith ate it for breakfast. And then some. Yeah, we'll repair that. We have 6 minutes to go. Still with the Wraith Lords, huh? Sending him one at a time is just not gonna cut it. Hey, listen, if you want to focus on the Tomb Spider and just leave all the blade ones alone while we rip you to shreds, cool with that. I believe that squad that they're sending, like orangey red, I think that fire dragons. They are a somewhat close range unit, but they absolutely demolish fear. Their weapon is just really, really tough. I think they send the Avatar Arcane at something like the 3-minute mark. We'll see. What's amusing is the timer. It'll catch you off guard the first time because it'll say, hold the 3 critical points for 0 more minutes. And what it means is you are under 1 minute and it's counting down the seconds until it reaches full 0. And it's very easy to get up. I'm frustrated there. Why aren't you attacking? That was me. That's one of those things. Glitch.
Retake the gates, or we shall never see the craft world again.
Okay, are we gonna see, possibly? Please? I would like to see it. I think it's a fantastic, figure. Yeah, there it is. If you can see it among all the green stuff. That look cool. There, yeah. This is their big, massive unit, and kind of like how the fully awakened monolith is ours. Just really freaking cool. Are you attacking? You're not attacking. It takes a lot to take out an Avatar King. Where the hell did our Lord go? Okay, yeah, I see. It's a little bit harder to see the Lord because it's ethereal, like, due to the invincibility. Even down to 50%. Fighting him for a long time. Monolith has a lot of punch. You know? Yeah, I had to force them into fighting. It's definitely one of the more frustrating things that can happen in a game. Just, yeah, I'm just gonna stand here and just, you know, like, get shot in the face over and over and over again. Down to red. Nice. And we're almost there. I should have transformed into the Nightbringer. Had the two. That would just be epic. So at this point, I think I'm going to wrap up and let you watch the rest of this. I hope you enjoyed this first speedrun video, full speedrun. Oh, there we go. We're all done. If you're new to the channel, you can do the whole subscribing, bell notifications, all of that.
And when the
Down below.
Deathless Army marched into
Until next we meet,
they got
please
their
be safe.
chance.
Bye.
For all the lauded foresight.